A terrific run through the tournament, 4-0. That's the best way to go through the tournament if you're going to do anything. Go 4-0. Don't ever have to get into that loser's bracket. You don't want to be there. It says loser at the front of it. That's not where you want to be. You want to be in the winner's bracket, and that's what Justin Hill and the McNeese Cowboys did. Justin Hill joins us, coach of the McNeese Cowboys, who, by the way, with the win, became tied as the second winningest coach in McNeese history with nearly 200 wins for the Cowboys. Justin, what's up, my friend? How are you?
How you doing, Patrick?
Man,
good to hear from you.
I'm not as good as you are at this point.
Yeah, I got to say I'm pretty good spirits right now.
Yeah,
so no complaints whatsoever.
As you should be. All right, so walk me back through this season, because at one point didn't look like you were making the conference tournament. You were 10th. You were, I don't want to say you were left for dead. That's not right. You were kind of struggling to find your team identity and kind of get rolling. You got it rolling in a big way. You won 9 of your last 12 conference games down the stretch. You got the 5 seed, and then you rolled through the tournament, basically relying on the arms, getting all the pitching you needed. Tell me about the run that your team is on right now.
Yeah, I think it was right after we left Northwestern State. We had a tough day. I think it was the Saturday before Easter. We got swept in a doubleheader by Northwestern State, and we were sitting there. We had 4 weekends left, and we kind of knew the magic number was 15 to get in the tournament. And man, it was. I think you saw a little bit this year firsthand as well how good the league was.
Mm-hmm.
It was top to bottom. Every weekend was tight. Every game was tight, and sometimes it was when you played somebody, and we had so many games that were 1- and 2-run games, losses, wins. There wasn't ever a game one way or the other that we just, had a comfortable lead where the other team had a comfortable lead. You had 30 stressful games is what you had. That was just kind of the way it was, the way it was this year. That's a credit to the league and our coaches in our league and our players. It was stressful, like I said, every single game. And, the boys, we got beaten Abilene on Friday night. And then we got a great pitching performance out of Rhett Deaton, and we found a way to win that Sunday game to take the series. And we knew we had to win the series, but we didn't have to be perfect. And I think when you kind of take some of that stress off yourself, and knowing you don't have to be perfect, and you just get to go play baseball, and the boys played well. We did. We pitched it really well late in the year. We got just enough offense. Still played good defense. I was proud of the defense this year. I think we led the conference tied for first with, the defense, fielding percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So and that continued throughout the conference tournament. We got some timely hits, and to win that tournament, having been on both sides of it now, winning the regular season, winning the tournament, they're both really hard. They're just hard in different ways, and you got to get some breaks. The line drive's got to go your way, whether you catching it or it's falling through, and different things, and so. There was certainly some good fortune involved in that, but I thought the boys put themselves in a situation where the good fortune would find them.
Well, and it's interesting because we all going into the tournament thought, oh, well, there's kind of a pitching side and there's a hitting side. And it looked like you were on the hitting side. Incarnate Word had been very good offensively. Sam Houston had been very good offensively. Corpus had certainly had its share of good times offensively. And yet the old adage, good pitching beats good hitting, kind of seemed to roll you through the tournament that way.
Yeah, that's going to happen. You run into the wrong guy. It's like on a Friday night. If you run into the wrong guy, it could be a short night for you. I think there were a total of 13 runs scored between the 4 games on day one.
Yeah.
And you thought there may be some let up with that as you kind of got the bullpens and the other starters. The ballpark was playing big too. The wind was blowing in, and it kind of showed you. You have to be able to win a few different ways to win in this league, because there's certainly some pitcher-friendly parks and there's some offensive parks in our place, but that was the way that the ballpark was playing this weekend, and we were fortunate enough to have the arms to be able to take us through that.
Yeah, you give up 1, 2, 3, and 2 runs over the course. By the way, are all the Andersons finally done? I feel like you've had one of the Anderson brothers at your school for the last 9 years. Is Aiden finally done after this year, or is he like a redshirt freshman now?
No, I think it cycles over. I would be okay with that. I think he's good. I think he's just fine being done with school, though. I think it's the school part. But no, I think he'll get a chance to go make some money playing baseball after this. I think he's put himself in a good situation. He can go do like his brother. get a chance to go make some money playing baseball after all this is over with.
Well, none of us are sad to see him go, to be honest with you. It seemed like every time you look, you're running into an Anderson out there. Matter of fact, y'all threw both Andersons at Northwestern State last year, and I think struck out like 31 guys when it was all said and done.
One of the funniest part of that night that happened, and Coach Zaleski, obviously it was a pitching duel, both sides of it. I know that was a 1-1 ball game, like through 13, 14 innings or whatever. Coach Zaleski rallies the troops, whatever, from an offensive standpoint. And, it's like, hey, how do we do this? How do we do that? No, it wasn't, hey, can we please get the Anderson family a run? It was just one of those. You're like, hey, you know what? Hey, just speak the truth, man. That's just how it works.
That's exactly how it worked. All right, so you now find out you're going to Nashville. Were you at all surprised that Baton Rouge wasn't the destination?
I think it's one of those when you knew that Southern was also was in the mix. You knew there was a possibility they would send both teams there. They ended up sending neither team there. I've been on teams where, you knew that you were locked to go to Baton Rouge and then others you go, hey, we may go somewhere else or do something. So I talked to a few people that morning and heard that we were not going to Baton Rouge. And then so kind of settled for that, kind of let that kind of sink in. And so then you start thinking, okay, well, where are the possible destinations? And, Nashville was certainly one of them, but we knew there were some closer ones too. You had Fayetteville and, you had Oxford and you had Starkville, and you started kind of looking down the list. Well, hey, you never know, but, again, Northwestern State and LSU both went to Oregon State last year.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things. We just knew our name was going to be called. We just didn't know when. That was a lot better feeling than 2 years ago when we thought we had a chance to get in and thought we deserved to get in and it didn't work out.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I was telling everyone that would listen that I wanted to go to Corvallis last year because I just wanted a trip. I wanted something different than going to one of these sites that we all go visit Fayetteville and Oxford and Starkville and Baton Rouge through the course of midweeks, and we do it every year. I wanted to go somewhere different, so I've got to imagine, at least from a travel standpoint, this is going to be fun for you guys because you get to go experience somewhere different.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. I know, I guess McNeese has never competed against Vanderbilt in baseball. I think there's had a couple games against Illinois State or Indiana State and Ohio State at different points. But it was our first time playing in Nashville. It'll be my first time playing in Nashville. It just so happened the times that I was, in the LSU dugout, either as a player or as a coach, they happened to come to LSU, to Baton Rouge. So this is my first time to go there. Once you get through the administrative side of figuring out, hey, how we're going to get there and what we're going to do and, when's the plane going to leave and doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, it'll be a really exciting day tomorrow when we get on that bird and fly to Nashville and then just get to think about baseball. But it's the process is certainly enjoyable with this. And, and there's no frustration, no nothing at all, man. It's just, again, having been on the wrong side of it sometimes, and you really grow to appreciate it. So I'm enjoying it.
Better to plan the logistics of this trip than the logistics of where you're going on vacation at this point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm telling you, watching that show on Monday is a lot better than cooking out, I promise.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Do you do anything with the team? I mean, do you plan on a trip, something to do in Nashville, or is it once you land, it's straight baseball?
Well, I mean, I think there's some festivities that kind of go along with the trip. I think we land in Nashville tomorrow at 4:00. I mean, and then we practice at 1 the next day. So, logistically, there's really not a time to fit things in. We play the noon game. We play at noon on Friday, so it's not like you have a chance to fit some of those things in. The thing is, when it's really fun, it really becomes a cool trip when you win a ball game.
Yeah.
Because you're going to stay there a couple nights, and then you get to go do some cool stuff. And I think just the fact of going to practice there on Thursday, kind of going through the whole process. Hey, we're playing a baseball game. It is a different venue. That's going to be fun. I mean, that's what these guys came here to do. Even though everybody goes to do that, you don't always get the opportunity to do it sometimes. And so I think that'll probably be enough for them. I'm sure some guys will take in the game, the nightcap game, and see who our opponent's going to be after that. And, it's a baseball trip, man, and baseball guys just love doing baseball stuff.
No doubt about that. Talking to Justin Hill from McNeese. All right, so I'm going to say that your tournament championship is the first time that I've ever heard someone referencing, great, now we get another chance to eat at a mid-level national chain restaurant. And I don't have sponsors on my show right now, so I don't mind saying that it's Cheddar's. What's the deal here, and why did I see Cheddar's brought up as soon as your tournament victory was secured?
Well, you know, the old saying goes in baseball is you don't mess with a streak. And, you know, we knew we knew we had the team lunch on Friday before, you know, we go to play, and there just happened to be a Cheddar's within walking distance rather than getting on the bus. So, you know, we took the little, 100-yard walk to Cheddar's, and we sat down, ate, no big deal, whatever. Of course, you go and you win a big ball game, kind of emotional, and have a great performance out of Aiden, and you get the right. I mean, again, playing a great opponent and all those things, and we say, hey, what you guys want to eat the next day? Coach, we're going to Cheddar's. Like, okay, well, sure, and no big deal. And then you win again. You're like, I guess we're going to Cheddar's again. And so you go 4 straight days, and it ends up, I mean, you're like, I mean, I don't know if we're going to continue that. I think that was probably more in jest. I'm more of a, hey, let's close that book. Let's start a new book.
Right.
I think there's a lot of great places to eat in Nashville.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're going to go try to find something new.
Got to do some Hattie B's hot chicken, Justin. You got to go get some of that.
Man, I'm in. I hear they've got pretty good barbecue in that area too, and I know that you're kind of a connoisseur.
You do know that.
Of that. Yes, I mean the rumor's out. So.
Well, look, I'm going to laugh though, and I want this videoed at some point. You got to get Bonnet or whoever's with you. You got to get this on video. That I need you to ask the team while they're on the plane where they want to eat when they land in Nashville, and I want to see if they all just say Cheddar's.
Yeah, I'll see on that. And that's the thing. I think we've got a video guy that's going to be coming with us.
Good.
So you're going to have a few things doing. I can't. We normally go no hats on the trip.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a team thing that we do. But I did get a request by some of the older guys that goes, Coach, but it's Nashville. Can we at least wear cowboy hats?
Oh, there you go.
Of course you can wear cowboy hats. So I think you're going to see some blue Mardi Gras beads, some cowboy hats, and some cowboy boots. And,
some big belt buckles.
Hey, I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't have one. I don't have any of those items. But that doesn't mean, you can't let the boys, have a little fun with it. And that's what this time of year is about, is making it the most for the players and let them go play ball.
And finally, Justin, how do you go about preparing for teams that you've never seen before, teams you don't face? Indiana State, you mentioned, you got Ohio State, you got Vandy in there. How do you go about scouting for these teams? Is it as simple as everyone's got video out there and you can go watch, or do you call other coaches, other common opponents maybe? How do you go about trying to build a scouting report on these teams that you don't face?
Yeah, I mean, I think the video is certainly a big help. You can kind of see, how a certain guy's swing works or how his breaking pitch moves, and you can see a couple things to kind of get a visual before it starts. And you certainly want to call around to some coaches that that maybe have played them. Generally, most conferences won't give up the other guy, which,
right.
And I've actually had a few coaches reach out to me, and I'm appreciative of those guys saying that, say some teams reached out and want to let you know that we don't do that. And so I appreciate the camaraderie we've had within our conference. But you still want to go and kind of go, what's the feel? What type of team are they? Do they like to run? You can see a lot from their stats, but you want to see, do they do anything, do they have a unique style of baseball that they play? Will they bunt every first and third situation? Everybody kind of plays a little bit different. And so, again, the stats tell some of the story, but you kind of want to talk and see. But the bottom line is going to come out is, hey, how do you go out and pitch? And, how do your guys play that day?
Justin Hill, head coach of the McNeese Cowboys, thank you, my friend, and best of luck in Vandy. I certainly hope that y'all win that regional and move on.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. Always good to talk.
All right, Justin Hill. Great interview. Again, that has nothing to do with me. It's him. I love it. Cowboy hats on the plane, belt buckles, got some cowboy boots, some blue Mardi Gras beads. I love it.